Hello everyone, welcome to lecture series of Engineering Graphics and Design. Myself Ankur Patel, and today in the second session of loci of point, we will continue our practice with problems of loci of points having different mechanism. So today we will start with the 4-bar chain mechanism. So the first and basic thing is, what is 4-bar chain mechanism? If a mechanism is done by, or if a mechanism has 4 joints, then that mechanism is known as 4-bar chain mechanism. So let us understand the 4-bar chain mechanism by using this example. So two cranks AB and CD of equal lengths are connected by link BC and rotate in opposite direction as shown in the figure. So in this figure we have two cranks AB and CD which are connected by the link BC. So in this mechanism we have 4 joints. First joint is at A, second joint is at B, third is at C, and fourth joint is at D. That's why this mechanism is known as 4-bar chain mechanism. And both cranks AB and CD are rotating in the opposite direction. So if AB rotates in the clockwise direction, then CD will rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. And we have to find out the locus of point P, which is on the connecting link BC. So we have to find out the locus of point P. AB, the length of crank AB and CD will be equal to 35 mm. So the length of AB and CD is 35 mm. The length of BC is 120 mm. So the length of connecting link BC is 120 mm. The length of PC is 40 mm. So the point P is 40 mm from point C. And AD is 120 mm. That means the distance between the center of rotation of two cranks, that is A and D, will be equal to 120 mm. So let's try to find out the locus of point P by using this 4-bar chain mechanism. So first of all, draw a circle having radius is equal to 35 mm, showing this circle, and divide the circle into 8 equal parts, showing the locus of point B. Now let us consider that the circle or this crank AB is rotating in the clockwise direction. So it will rotate in the clockwise direction. So starting from B1 over here, so this will be our B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, which will show the locus of point B. Now draw the circle which has a center D, and the distance of center D from A is 120 mm. So from A, measure 120 mm and mark D, and draw a circle having center at D and radius is equal to 35 mm. So draw the circle. Now measure the length of BC, which is 120 mm. Put your rounder on B1, give an arc on the circle. Now consider that the circle is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, because we have considered the circle rotating in the clockwise direction. So this circle will rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So now put your rounder on B1, give an arc on the circle which will gives us C1, and the distance between B1 to C1 is 120 mm. So connect this line and mark P1 to find out the locus of point P, so which is 40 mm from point C. Now put your rounder on B2, give an arc on the circle which will intersect exactly over here. This is our C2. So mark P2, which is 40 mm from C2, to get the locus of point P. Now put your rounder on B3, give an arc on the circle having length equal to 120 mm. So here we will get C3. Connect B3, C3 and mark point P3 on this line. So P3 will be 40 mm from point C3. Now put your rounder on B4, give an arc on the circle having length equal to 120 mm and mark C4. Connect C4 to P4 and mark P4 on this line having length equal to 40 mm from C4. Now put your rounder on B5, give an arc on the circle having length equal to 120 mm again. Connect C5 to B5 and mark P5 on this line having length equal to 40 mm from C5. Now put your rounder on B6, give an arc on the circle which will intersect exactly over here. So this will be our C6. Connect C6 to B6 and mark P6 on this line 40 mm from C6. Now put your ruler on B7, give an arc on the circle over here. So here we will get C7, connect B7 to C7 and mark B7 on this line 40 mm from C7. Now put your ruler on B8, give an arc on this circle. This will be our C8, connect C8 to B8 and mark B8 on this line 40 mm from C8. So this P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8 will gives us the locus of point P. So draw the freehand curve passing through this point will be the locus of point P, which is 40 mm away from point C, which is on the link BC. Now let's see one another example, which is the example of the oscillating link. A link OA 80 mm long oscillates around O 60 degree to right side and returns to its initial vertical position with uniform velocity. So we have a link OA having length equal to 80 mm which oscillates around O and 60 degree in the right side, and then after it returns at its initial position. And at the same time, meanwhile, point P initially on O starts sliding downwards and reaches A with uniform velocity. So at the same time, one point P which is at O starts sliding downwards and reaches point A with uniform velocity. So draw the locus of point B. So we have to find out the locus of point B, which sliding from O to A with uniform velocity. So this angle is 60 degree. Now first thing is we have to draw link OA, which is which have a length of 80 mm, and by taking center at A, radius is equal to O to A, we have to give an arc in the right side, and then after from point A draw a line which is inclined at an angle of 60 degree to OA to show the rotation of the or oscillation of the link OA, which is 60 degree to the right side. So this will shows the final end position of the oscillation of OA. So it will reaches over here, which is at the 60 degree and comes at the initial position. So now divide this 60 degree angle into 4 equal parts. So divide this angle into 4 equal parts, 60 degree angle. The angle of each division is 15 degree. And we have to find out the locus of point A. So this will be initial position. So this will be A1, A2, A3, A4. Then after point A will comes at its initial position. So this will be our A5, A6, A7, A8. So here we have total 8 numbers: A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8. So we have total 8 position of point A. So we have to divide this length OA into 8 equal parts. So divide this line into 8 equal parts. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have to find out the locus of point P. For that, first of all, we have to take center at O, radius is equal to O to 1, give an arc on the A1. Now again taking center at O, radius is equal to O to 2, give an arc on the line A2. Put your rounder on O, which is our center, radius is equal to O to 3, give an arc on the line OA3. Now having radius O to 4, give an arc on the line of OA4. Now put your rounder on O again, radius is equal to O to 5, give an arc on the line OA5. Put your rounder on O, radius is equal to O to 6, give an arc on the line OA6. Center at O, radius is equal to O to 7, give an arc on the line OA7. And our final point will be over here. So mark these points. Give the name of these points: P, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, which will be the locus of point P. So now draw the freehand curve passing through these points, will gives us the locus of point P. So draw the freehand curve. So this will be the locus of point P, which slides on OA in the downward direction with uniform velocity. Now let's move on to next example, which is the example of the rotating link. Road AB 100 mm long revolves in clockwise direction for 1 revolution. Meanwhile, point P initially on A starts moving towards B and reaches B when the road AB completes 1 revolution. Draw the locus of point P. So here we have a road AB having length equal to 100 mm and it revolves in clockwise direction for 1 revolution, and at the same time point P, which is initially at A, starts moving towards point B and reaches B when the road AB completes 1 revolution. So first of all, draw a circle having diameter equal to AB. So draw a circle, and this circle is rotating in the clockwise direction. So show the direction of the rotation over here. Now divide the circle into 8 equal parts. So these are the locus of A and B. So this will be our A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8. So when AB rotates in the clockwise direction, the locus of point will be over here, A1. When A1 will reaches over here, our B1 will reaches over here. So B will reaches over here. So this will be our B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7 and B8. Now we have to find out the locus of point P. So as we have divided this circle into 8 equal parts, now divide this line AB into 8 equal parts. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and this will be our final point 8. Now after dividing this length AB into 8 equal parts, take center at 4, which will be the center of the circle. Radius equal to 4 to 1. Give an arc on A1 over here exactly. Take center at 4, radius equal to 4 to 2. Give an arc on A2. Take center at 4, radius equal to 4 to 3. Give an arc on A3. Take center at 4, radius equal to 4 to 5. Give an arc. Now there isn't any need to draw this arc because the arc length of 4 to 3 and 4 to 5 will remain same. So we will get the intersection on A5. So this will be our A5 over here. Now take center at 4, radius equal to 4 to 6. Give an arc. Now again it is not required to give the arc because the arc length of 4 to 2 and 4 to 6 will remain same. So we have already drawn. So we have to give an arc on A6 over here. So we will get A6 over here. Now radius equal to 4, center at 4, radius equal to 4 to 7. Give an arc on A7 and mark these points of intersection of the arc. So this will be 1, 2, 3, this will be 4, this will be 5th point which is on the A5. So this will be our 6th, A6. This will be our 7, which will be on the A7, and here we will get A8. So now draw a freehand curve passing through these points. This will be our P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 will be over here, P7, and this will be our P8. So draw the freehand curve passing through these points, which gives us the locus of point P, which moves on the line AB, and at the same time the line AB or rod AB rotates in the clockwise direction with uniform velocity. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture. Till then, take care.